Hello everyone, welcome back to what should be the last video in this Hilltop farm series. The last video, at least for now. This farm has been really great to do and this series has been a lot of fun to make, but I'm pretty much out of ideas and things to do. I got to where I wanted to be, but there's only a few things left to answer and I will do that in this video. The first question I want to answer is a simple one. It's whether or not the Junimos will continue harvesting if you walk out your front door and go see them and then go back to bed. My theory on this is that they will not continue harvesting. I believe you have to play through the amount of time it takes them to harvest on a day, otherwise they will go back to bed themselves. This is quite easy to solve. I'm just going to buy a small crop and plant it and we'll examine this for ourselves. A simple crop of parsnips takes only 4 days to reach maturity, so I'm going to go with those. And I am going to fertilize them, of course, not for any reason in particular. Fertilizer is down, at least I think it is. It's actually hard to see all the spots in there in case I missed one, like right there actually. And now the fun part, the parsnips. Just like that, they're all planted, easy peasy. Now it's just a 4-day wait. It's been approximately 12 seconds since we last spoke and my parsnips are already ready to go. So now that I see them beginning to harvest, they've picked up 2 or 3, I'm going to head back to bed and wake up tomorrow to see what they've harvested by that point. So taking a look, they did not continue to harvest. I believe that's probably as far as they got by the time I got back to bed, so it was 6-7 parsnips maybe. So that answers that question quite easily. The next question is about the quarry itself, which this whole farm is centered around. I've been at level 9 mining for quite some time now, a lot of time has passed and this is all it spawned. The most valuable thing here is probably the magma geodes, which are the red ones. A little bit of gold is spawned, some frozen geodes, nothing overly exciting though. So I'm now going to go on a little quest to level up to level 10 mining and then maybe wait a little while to see what the quarry produces at that point. And I feel like the best and most entertaining way to level up mining at this point is to do a run way down into Skull Cavern, so I'm going to get set up for that. So what I need to do now is go and buy a bunch of ingredients for bombs. I know a few people in the comments have pointed out that it's quite cheaper to buy bombs from the dwarf in the mines, but I can't do that yet until I find the 4 dwarf scrolls, I believe they're called. That way I can decipher his language. Until then, this is the only way I can make bombs. Luckily, I have 5.7 million gold, so I can just waste it on whatever anyway. I figure I'll make at least 500 bombs, just because. From 5.7 million to 5.37 million, just like that. And all I bought was iron and coal. The luxury of the rich life. There we have it, 499 bombs. That's gonna be my method of mining while I'm in Skull Cavern. You may notice I'm not carrying a pick. I'm not gonna bring a pick with me. I don't need to smash rocks with that juvenile tool. Now I need to buy a lot of rocks. Okay, so you may notice that I'm down to 4.7 million gold after starting the day with 5.7 million. That is because I made the wise investment in rocks. Lots of them. And that is because rocks are part of my strategy. I make staircases out of every 99 rocks. So using just these, I can get down approximately 360 floors in Skull Cavern without ever having to smash a rock. From there, I simply bomb everything and see how much further down I can get. I'm having a debate on whether or not it's worth it to bring coffee or another stack of rocks, but I really like coffee, so it's coming with me this time. Now it's just a matter of finding a day with some good luck. And it only took a few days, and I found a day with +3 luck. Now I simply have to wait for Pam to head to the desert. I noticed that a few people in the comments said that if you wait outside of Pam's front door and block her way, she then hurries to the bus stop and saves you an extra half an hour time, which is huge. So I'm gonna do that. I'm pretty sure this is where Pam lives, so I'm gonna sit outside her door like a normal gentleman and wait. Also, I'd like to point out that I do realize that you can harvest weeds in the mine or in the new mutant bug layer, as I realized as soon as I started editing my last video. I was a little annoyed with myself that I basically started the video clearing weeds in the mutant bug layer and then finished the video looking so desperately for weeds. Okay, so here's Pam already. She comes out at about 8:30, I think, so now she's walking very quickly. If she always moved this quickly, she might make something of herself one day. And it appears I have to block her again because she slowed down as soon as she was out of sight. Okay, now that Turbo Pam has arrived, I'm about to buy my bus ticket and start. I've already realized my first mistake. I was supposed to buy another 99 rocks to make my first staircase, which would take up that room in the backpack. That's okay, I'll make do. And if this is any indication of my luck, it's going to be a good run. I've got to floor 1, I just made my first staircase, and already there's 4 iridium nodes right on the first floor. So now it's just a matter of the slow process of making stairs one by one and working my way ever downwards. Okay, so after exhausting all my rocks, I land on floor 326. Although I had a realization on my way down, I realized that if I hit an area that was overrun by monsters and had to clear it, I had no means of doing so. So I actually saved a few staircases here, just in case I went into those floors. Otherwise I would be completely stuck, or I'd have to try and kill all the creatures with bombs. And I don't have time for that. Also, you may notice there is a lot of iridium down on these floors. And I just remembered I am doing this wrong. You're supposed to drop a bomb, and then eat a salad, which actually pauses time while the bomb goes off, and also, the bomb doesn't hurt you. It's been a long time since I've done a run like this, so I am a little rusty on the technique. I'm on floor 329, and I have not yet found one shaft to give me a little bit of a shortcut. I'm not actually entirely sure if your luck for the day affects how many of those shafts or holes you'll find. I've heard different things, and I'm not sure myself. On floor 336, I've hit an infested level. So luckily I have my stairs, and off we go. It really is kind of a shame that I don't actually have a use for all this iridium I'm currently finding. Already it's 8 PM and I'm only on floor 340. I was hoping to be a lot deeper by now. I'm probably just going to go right until I actually pass right out, because I really have nothing to lose at this point. And finally on floor 341 is the first shaft. It only gets me 3 levels, but that's still 2 more than the usual. I've also gathered quite a few rocks now from all my bombing, enough to make a few more stairs, so I'm going to go ahead and use those, especially on a floor like that had such terrible odds of finding a staircase. By staircase I mean ladder. Just after 10 o'clock, only on floor 350 floor, really not having any luck with finding any shafts to jump me down a bunch of levels. I am finding a high amount of iridium, which is good, but I don't really have a use for it at the same time, so it's kind of a wasted effort. I would guess, however, that mining iridium probably boosts your mining level fairly quickly, as long as the bombs do work for that, that is. So that should work to my favor. As long as that works, I should hit level 10 by tomorrow, no problem. Finally, another shaft on floor 357. 6 levels, twice as good as the last one, but not the 15 that I was hoping for. Look at all the iridium on this floor. One more shaft, floor 365. And it's 11:30 PM. Another shaft, just after 12 AM when my guy started to look fatigued. There's a full 15 levels. I think that's as far as you could fall. So that brings me all the way down to floor 388. I might hit 400 after all. And another shaft right away. 13 levels, that's actually really good. So, 12:20 AM and floor 401. Suddenly making some really good progress thanks to those shafts. And another shaft on floor 402. 11 levels. 1 AM and I'm on a floor with not a lot of rocks, so it's going to take me a little bit of time to finally find that ladder. Floor 418, one more shaft, 1:30 AM, I'm pretty much out of time. 3 more levels. Probably going to pass out pretty much on this floor or the next one. And I've just found another shaft on floor 423. Suddenly I can't find anything but shafts. And yes, that's exactly what it sounds like, another 7 levels. And yet another shaft. Floor 430, another 5 levels, floor 435, and about to pass out. So that's it, floor 435, and there's my level 10 mining. Neither of these perks are of particular use to me now. Chance to find coal doubled, but I just buy coal anyway, and I don't really need to smelt anything anymore. Metal bars worth 50% more is probably more useful to me because my Statue of Endless Fortune provides me lots of bars. Here's one right now. There's also no energy penalty today. I woke up with full energy, so I'm not sure if there's any repercussion of passing out like that in Skull Cavern. Well, let's take a look at what we found while we were down there. There is 999 iridium plus another 305, 24 omni geodes, 18 prismatic shards, some purple boots. Those are probably pretty good. I think they're better than mine. They are purple. And then just a whole bunch of assorted gems and ore and whatever. Nothing particularly exciting. Anyways, now that my mining skill is all the way up to level 10, the maximum level, it's time to see what my little quarry can actually do. Hopefully something pretty useful, being that this whole farm is centered around. And it's not really great for crops like I've been doing. There's just not enough room. So what we're going to do now is use some bombs to wipe my quarry entirely clean to see what spawns at level 10. And yes, using bombs on your quarry destroys all the ore, all you get is rocks. That's okay. I also destroyed my path, but it is now completely clean. It is the 24th today, so I'm going to start with one day and then start skipping ahead progressively bigger to see what shows up. Here's what we find after one day. Typically disappointing me, 2 copper ores. Now we'll skip ahead 1 week from today. And after a week has passed since I last checked, there is a gold ore, a bunch of rocks, and a few iron. Nothing very exciting so far. I was really hoping that once I hit level 10 you would start to see some better stuff more frequently, but I guess that's not the case. So I'm gonna skip ahead till 1 month from the first day I checked. So the 24th of summer is my next stop. Alright, so 1 month has passed since I originally hit level 10 and wiped my quarry clean, and so far you see the results. Some gold, some iron, some copper, some rocks. Nothing new though. No iridium, no prismatic shards, no exciting anything. The only thing that's happened so far is I ruined my field by letting the debris take over. I'm losing sprinklers and scarecrows at a rapid rate. So while we're at it, let's skip right around to the 24th of spring next year, 1 year from when we started. That was fast, 1 full year from where we started. Let's take a look-see. Okay, so finally after 1 full year has passed, we do in fact have 2 iridium nodes that showed up. The fact that it takes a full year to get 2 to show up is a little bit ridiculous though, because if I need iridium, I'm not going to wait for 2 seasons at a time to wait for one to spawn up there. I'm going to go to Skull Cavern like I did and mine a whole bunch. Instead of waiting a year for 2, I can go all the way to Skull Cavern and get over 1,000 in a day anyway. And that about sums up my thoughts on this farm layout. The quarry is a good idea, but it just doesn't really help my personal playstyle. If I want ore, I'll likely just go buy it or mine it if I really have to. I'm not going to wait for it to spawn in my quarry, and by the time it does, I'll be well past the need for it. I've always liked more planting area anyway, and this layout does not necessarily have a lot of it. It's all hills and rivers and stuff. So my next farm is probably going to be one with a bigger farm space. Anyways, now that I've been rambling on for a little while, I'm going to end this video here. Like I said, this should be the last one on this farm, at least for now. It was a lot of fun to play it. I like this series and it's time to start a new one. That will be out either tomorrow or Saturday. As always, let me know what you think and thank you all for watching.